Greetings and welcome to my video on macros in Microsoft Office. The first entry will be for Microsoft Excel. Now to start with, what are macros? Macros is like a tape recorder, but instead of voice, it records your manual actions in the document, and when it records and the macros is run on the document, it copies your recorded specifications on automatic. This saves a lot of time in repetitive creation of documents, and is a must learn for practicing professionals. Macros are found in the options in the Customize ribbon. Just enable the Developer tab and then go to the Developer, and here you will find Record Macro. Now, we are creating 3 simple exercises of macro for formatting this Excel spreadsheet here. We have here an example of a sales in a shop. I already inputted some data to save time for you, and it is now ready for formatting. To start, we push the record macro. Name the macro for our first exercise. It is formatting a table. Assign the macro to add shortcut. For now, let's put this in Ctrl-Shift-N, and we put a description for the macro. Now the macro is recording. Now you don't have to rush. The macro is only recording your actions and not the time. Let's go to the spreadsheet. For our first exercise is for customizing and formatting a table in the spreadsheet. I'll just fast forward here to not waste your time. And I'll just customize this. Now you see here a fully customized format for the spreadsheet table. We'll hit that stop recording and the macro is done. Now let's just make an example later and move on to the next exercise. And that is data formatting. We push the record macro again, name and assign it to Ctrl-Shift-M and enter a description. Now let's format the data of a single cell here. We'll put in a currency, separate it by the thousands, and highlight the negative numbers. We stop recording the macro. Then for example, let's highlight the next involved data. Then do Ctrl-Shift-M and all the formatting is done. Our last exercise for Excel is automating sum. Now we push the record macro again and add the description and assign it to Ctrl-Shift-K. Now let's just highlight the data in bold and then go to formulas and press auto sum. Let's stop recording the macro. Now let's make use of the macros we recorded in another spreadsheet. Let's format the table with Ctrl-Shift-N. Format the data with Ctrl-Shift-M. And automate sum with Ctrl-Shift-K. The second entry will be for Microsoft Word. You have to enable the developer in the Customize ribbon, same as the Excel and the PowerPoint also later. For the first simple exercise is for page formatting. We run the macros again, same as the Excel, and let's assign it to Ctrl-Shift-G and add the description. And do some page formatting. I'll just fast forward here and to save your time. And we're done. The second exercise is for paragraph formatting. Let's run the macro. I'll assign it to Ctrl-Shift-H and add the description. I'll do some font formatting, so I'll fast forward it. And we're done. The third exercise will be for drop cases in paragraph. Let's record the macro, assign it to Ctrl-Shift-Q, and input the description. We'll just highlight the paragraph here, go to insert, and then push drop cap. I'll format it here, then stop recording. To have an example, let's have a new document to test our recorded macros. But let's copy the text here for convenience. Let's paste it here. Now let's format the page with Ctrl Shift G. Format the font with Ctrl Shift H. And add drop cases in the first paragraph with Ctrl Shift Q. The last entry will be on Microsoft PowerPoint. But on PowerPoint, there are some changes involved. Because there is no record macro function, you must program and create your own macro manually through programming. For our first exercise, inputting a text box prompt to a button. This is quite simple. First, make our own macro, name our macro first, and then create. I already created some macros for this video to save time. Here is the program for a text prompt. Copy it if you like. Now let's go to our example slide here. We have a correct and incorrect answers. Let's insert our text prompt macros here. Here is the interactions for this macro. For our next exercise, we will be displaying the user's input to a shape. Create your macro, and here is the code needed for the input box. Copy it if you like. Now let's insert this in a shape and go full screen. Here is the interaction with it. For the last exercise of this video is to input a 3-minute countdown on our slide. To do that, let's go to my countdown macro. Here is the programming for it. Feel free to copy it. And if you want to change how many minutes you want, just change the count value here and put your desired minutes in seconds. Now we are done. Let's insert this macro into a shape and we'll run the macro. Now see here we have a 3-minute countdown timer. This is now the end of the video. Thank you for your time. Hope you have a nice day.